Hollywood has always been a factory for illusions. You see polished red carpet photos, carefully edited interviews, and Instagram posts where celebrities laugh together like childhood friends. But behind all those glossy moments lies a world of PR strategy, backstage politics, and relationships that function very differently once the cameras stop rolling. And lately, one rumor has been dominating fan pages, blind item accounts, and entertainment forums. The idea that Hugh Jackman may finally be stepping away from his long-publicized bromance with Ryan Reynolds. It sounds dramatic, maybe even exaggerated, but the amount of online chatter about it has fans wondering whether that picture-perfect friendship was ever as effortless as it seemed. None of these claims are verified, of course, but the sheer volume of speculation has pushed people to take a closer look at the dynamics they once assumed were genuine. For years, Ryan and Hugh played the rivalry bit like masters. They roasted each other, made parody videos, hijacked each other's interviews. The internet loved it. To the public, it felt wholesome, harmless. But according to certain unverified industry whispers, not everyone behind the scenes viewed their dynamic as purely playful. Some claim Hugh was the one holding everything together, keeping the energy light even when he didn't feel that way privately. Again, rumors, not fact. But speculation grows quickly when fans begin pointing out moments where Hugh's smile didn't quite reach his eyes, or interviews where he seemed more tired than amused. The internet loves reading into micro-expressions, and once a narrative sticks, people start seeing clues everywhere. Then came the rumor that started it all, a story circulating across blogs and social platforms claiming Ryan once clashed intensely with a makeup artist during reshoots. The details change depending on who's repeating it, but the core allegation remains the same, that Ryan allegedly gave a harsh warning about the artist's future in the industry if they couldn't return quickly enough. No studio has confirmed this story, no documents support it, and no directly named individuals have stepped forward. Still, the discussion ignited instantly. People compared it to other online stories about tense moments on set, and suddenly the internet had built an entire theory about how Ryan behaves when he's not in front of fans. It's impossible to know whether the rumor has any basis in reality, but once gossip catches fire, it rarely dies quietly. The speculation only intensified when people revisited Ryan's reported creative disagreements with Tim Miller, director of the first Deadpool. The official explanation was creative differences, which is Hollywood speak for just about anything. But entertainment bloggers, Reddit threads, and TikTok commentators began stitching together old interview clips, interpreting tiny hints as evidence that their split wasn't amicable. Some claim Ryan wanted more creative authority than Miller was comfortable giving. Others say Miller wasn't willing to bend to certain ideas. None of this has been confirmed by either man, yet the rumor mill doesn't need confirmation, it only needs momentum, and the idea of a beloved director walking away from a billion-dollar franchise fueled plenty. Once that narrative gained steam, fans started reevaluating how other actors interacted with Ryan. Marina Baccarin's reduced presence in later promotional materials became a talking point. TJ Miller's interviews, where he shared negative feelings about his working experience, were brought back into circulation. Even though Miller's statements reflect his personal perspective and don't prove widespread issues, they fed the growing online storyline. People began retracing the history of Deadpool productions like detectives, looking for hints they might have missed. When an audience believes a puzzle exists, it will assemble pieces whether they fit or not. That's how crews eventually got pulled into the conversation. Anonymous posts on industry message boards, the sort of places where gossip spreads like wildfire, claim that working on certain sets was stressful due to unpredictable energy. Nobody can verify anonymous claims, and even if they were true, there's no way to confirm who they're talking about. But vague comments about frustration or tension always get attached to the biggest name in the room. People started connecting those anonymous difficult workplace stories to Ryan, even when the original posts didn't name him. And once a rumor is attached to a celebrity, it becomes nearly impossible to separate truth from speculation. This brings us back to Hugh Jackman, the center of the current storm. Hugh has always been known as a consummate professional, polite, humble, universally liked. That's why the rumor that he might be pulling away from Ryan hits harder than most. If it were anyone else, fans would shrug. But Hugh, the man who praises everyone he works with, the guy who thanks security guards and remembers the names of backstage staff, if someone like Hugh distances himself, fans assume there must be a reason. even if that assumption is based entirely on online chatter. One rumor claims Hugh felt uncomfortable with certain promotional skits involving Justin Baldoni, especially ones tied to Blake Lively's film It Ends With Us. These videos, meant to be humorous, were interpreted by some as targeted jabs. Fans speculated that Hugh didn't like being caught in the middle of tension he had nothing to do with. There's no evidence Hugh disliked participating, but the rumor persists because it fits neatly into the larger narrative people have constructed. Whether true or not, the internet latched onto it, saying it marked the point where Hugh began subtly stepping back. Then came the more explosive rumor, the idea that Hugh might be required to provide testimony related to legal matters involving other parties. Entertainment news accounts blasted that rumor everywhere, even though no official record supports it. The claim is that Hugh would be put in an impossible situation, either speak openly and risk damaging a friendship, or stay silent and look complicit. It's a dramatic scenario, the kind Hollywood writers would invent, but again, entirely unverified. That didn't stop fans from running with it. In their version of the story, Hugh is the reluctant truth-teller caught in a PR hurricane he never asked to join. Once those rumors went viral, people revisited older interviews involving past relationships. Scarlett Johansson's comments about emotional tension during her marriage to Ryan resurfaced. People connected them to Alanis Morissette's lyrics from her album after their breakup. Rebecca Ferguson's story about an unprofessional co-star, which never named anyone and might not even involve the same production, was suddenly assumed to be related. Jake Gyllenhaal's recent coldness when asked about Ryan became part of the pattern. Fans were essentially building a scrapbook of moments that seemed suspicious in hindsight. Is any of this conclusive? Absolutely not. But that doesn't matter to the rumor machine. Once a narrative exists, people start interpreting everything through that lens. A quiet moment becomes a clue. A vague comment becomes evidence. A skipped appearance becomes a sign. And in this case, the narrative is clear. The public bromance may not match the private dynamic. Meanwhile, some fans argue the opposite, that the rumors are exaggerated, misunderstood, or completely fabricated. They point out that actors drift apart all the time without any bad blood, people get busy, projects change, families grow, and friendships evolve. Maybe Hugh isn't pulling away. Maybe he's just doing his own thing. Maybe the rumors say more about fan culture than they do about Ryan Reynolds. In a world where people crave drama, the absence of conflict feels suspicious. But the speculation keeps growing because it fills a void. Hollywood presents friendships as brands, and fans invest emotionally in those images. When something disrupts that, even slightly, people scramble to make sense of it. Hugh attending fewer of Ryan's press events? A clue. Ryan not mentioning Hugh in certain interviews? A clue. Hugh looking tired in a photo? Clue. Fans become amateur detectives with too much time and too many screenshots. And the people driving these rumors aren't traditional journalists. They're TikTok creators with dramatic background music. They're Reddit users analyzing interviews frame by frame. They're blind item accounts posting cryptic messages that can be interpreted 100 different ways. These accounts know exactly how to hook viewers with mystery, tension, and the suggestion that something big is brewing. Even if nothing is happening, the implication alone keeps viewers watching. That's why the rumor that Hollywood is watching closely has taken off. Not because insiders confirmed it, but because it sounds like something insiders would say. People imagine executives sitting in boardrooms, whispering to one another about the Hugh and Ryan situation. In reality, officials probably aren't thinking about it at all, but the audience loves imagining that the bromance ending could impact huge decisions like casting or future projects. Ultimately, the truth might be simple. Maybe Hugh and Ryan are fine. Maybe they aren't as close as they used to be. Maybe the rumors contain grains of truth mixed with mountains of exaggeration. Or maybe the internet created a story from thin air because it loves drama more than reality. Hollywood thrives on mystery, and fans feed on it even more. What we do know is this: the saga doesn't seem to be slowing down. Every week, another rumor appears. Another clip resurfaces. Another blind item hints at tension. People are waiting for Hugh to make a statement, even though he probably won't, because that's never been his style. People are waiting for Ryan to comment, even though addressing rumors only fuels them. So what happens next is anyone's guess. The public may soon forget and move on to the next celebrity storyline. or this could snowball into something bigger if someone finally speaks on record. Until then, the internet will continue spinning theories, analyzing body language, and comparing timelines as if it's an investigation. And really, that's what keeps this story alive. Not truth, not confirmation, but curiosity. The curiosity of millions of people who want to believe that even Hollywood's most picture-perfect friendships might hide cracks behind the curtain. So what do you think? Is the bromance fractured? Are the rumors blowing things out of proportion? Or is there more going on behind the scenes than anyone is willing to admit? Comment below because this conversation is far from over.